update on the dollar yen. And this guy, Hans von Gruber, has changed his name to Renko because apparently he's into Renko, or he's triggering me. He wants me to discuss Renko. He's manipulating me. So the Renko thing, I already see a problem here, is there's setting issues. How many bricks in the wall? And, you know, is there even a trade plan for this shit? Well, I'd say in the Renko world, okay. I get that it's clean, but still, when do you get in, when do you get out? How many bricks to trigger your trade, and are you going to buy the stop hunt of the bricks? So in my system, which involves buying the weak hands, if these are 5 pip bricks, we'd have a 10 pip grid. We got limits, and we are long. We have buy stops stacking up. We will get chatter, though, because this is smoothing out the data. I assume data is not this smooth. So we don't see wicks, I don't think. It looks to me like you're only allowed to get so many moves. In a long run like this, now, if you have trailing sell stops, you will get trapped here if you don't cash out within this much area. You could say that in Bill Williams' system, his fractal's sitting here, he has a buy stop here, he has a sell stop here, so I see comments in my last video, something like this. This is a funny one. People, or no, it's Hans is turned into Renko, so I keep forgetting. He's dynamic personality. And yes, I trade all demo. I've never traded real money. I never will. I don't have any real money. Just let's go with that. That'd be a lot better. In fact, that's fine with me. So as far as privacy goes, yes, it's all fake. Just like this Forex Hangout guy has a ticker tape at the top. For people that don't know math, high leverage is risky. Yes, because just because you can put on a standard lot with only $100 in your account doesn't mean that you need a 10 pip stop. You put a 10 pip stop. If you trade a standard lot, you've, in essence, put a 10 pip stop on your account. How many counts could you do? Now, look at Samurai Trader. And so the Forex Hangout guy says, well, Samurai Trader's a scam artist. You know what? He's an opportunist. I've done what he did. Take an account, put $300 in it, $350, and take it up to like $3,000. Oh yeah, and blow it up, or take it up to $100,000 and keep it. Now, whether you keep it or not is totally up to you and your. In other words, if you made $100,000 this morning, you've never made any money trading, and you started out with $10,000 in the account, and you trade 1,001 leverage. And you were like, I love this trading shit. And then somebody asks you, well, how much money did you make today? Well, it's inconceivable with a $10,000 account. You could have made $3,000 in the morning. News came out. You're on the right side of the market. And you go, oh, I'm up $3,000. I think I'll get out. And then you would walk away and see that if you would have stayed in for 3 more hours, you'd be up $10,000. Well, you just lost, didn't you now? So this whole winning and losing thing is so perverse. And this guy is saying I'm mentally ill. Far from it. I suppose I've went to therapy, so they cured me. The lady that fell asleep listening to me babble, she's like, you're good to go. I go, I knew that when I walked in here. I mean, I just wanted somebody to talk to, and apparently you're falling asleep, so I got to go pay somebody more. But this is a YouTube video called How to Trade Renko, but he never tells you how to trade guaranteed in here. But, you know, the patience too, waiting for the bricks to lay in. So I've seen a lot of these fantastical, even cloud trading. You go, God, it looks so cool. But I'm be honest with yourself, do you have the patience to wait for the setups on this shit? If you're watching the tick chart and you're going, shit, look at this, $80 up, $80 down, every 5 minutes. The ultimate question for anybody that's trading fake or real money. So if you're trading fake money, your ego's in it. If you're trading real money, then your wallet's in it. And supposedly that's different, but it kind of doesn't matter, because if you like the idea of your ego, then you would trade the demo and say, look at this shit. And then you would have somebody copy your account without you knowing it. Like I said, my joke is that you start a prop firm, you interview people, and you tell them, listen, here's a demo account. All I want you to do is I want you to practice on that. And they keep getting better and better. And you say to them, we're going to move you up to another demo account. You're getting really good, so we're going to move you up to this ECN broker. Now, you're not going to see any commission. You're not going to see the commissions. You're just going to trade what you see on the screen. It'll be tighter spreads. Psychologically, it'll be easier to pull a trigger for you or place buy stops, because the spread is so fucking tight that you feel like you are one of these level 2 geniuses, right? Now, if you have a buy stop pending above where the market is just kind of hovering right now, so if you go look at the tick chart right now, and this coming into Asia, the spreads are going to get kind of dicey here, but I'm still in this trade, and I could have got out here and I didn't, but I went short. So I'm in a winning hedge right now. I have shorts up here that I got tagged on that I placed earlier in the other video, and that's how that works. So yeah, it's all demo. No real money here. It's all been, I've been lying this whole time. And so I'm over it. Prefer that you think it's all fake. This way I don't have any, because it's coming unwrapped now. Leverage at 30 to 1 to 30 is, I can't even fucking believe it. I'm like, I hate to sound like the end of the world, but let's just go back to trading eggs on the Chicago Board of Trade, for God's sakes. Let's go trade the weather futures. Can you imagine the guy that's running that system? Can you imagine? The guy's on making $500,000 a year. What do you do? Why manage the weather futures platform for the exchange? So, yeah, hurricane puts are just fucking ripping. Or the volcano. We didn't see that. That was a butterfly option we had running on that. Boy, that finally paid off. Oof. So yeah, I mean, if you all of a sudden had $3,000 and you're like, oh God, I love this trading shit. This is not an unheard of story. You start with $10,000, you're up $3,000 in the morning. Next day, you're down 200. Next day, you're down $6,000, but you would rationalize it and say, well, I was up $3,000. I'm only down $3,000. This goes on and on. And I'm tempted to do something here. I see the market's getting all spiky coming into here. I think I'm going to get out of these shorts. I'm going to trim them out one at a time. So I did this earlier in a video where you don't have to get out. You don't have to be an all or nothing person. So what's working against you as a trader is being really inflexible. So if you're all or nothing thinker, I'm either all in or I'm all out. So I've made more money in this account by saying, you know what? It's moved. Let's get out and reload. So we did that this week. It rallied here. We dumped, reloaded. We've been reloading, and you could have been, what I did here was sell at the top. Literally sold at the top. These orders lasted, 24 hours. They finally got filled. So you're sleeping and you're getting in the market. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cash out of the sells. I'm just going to peel off one. Oops, did I do that right? Okay. And I'm going to wait. And maybe I'll wait 5 minutes. Maybe I'll wait half an hour. Maybe I'll just get out now. And this is the hardest part, because Not a lot of people, if they're trading this many tickets, have set up predetermined exits and they're like, okay, that's definitely as good. I didn't. I put some like risk 30 to make 80 shit in there. Now you would say at the end of the week, wow, look at that. And a lot of people would say, yeah, you also don't, if you don't need a lot of leverage, if you only need 30 to 1 leverage to trade, then you also don't need to trade a lot. Because if you hold on to that trade in about 42 hours, you will have made 200 pips. Whereas you wouldn't make that in 20 minutes. Yes, that's true. That's all true. But then again, are you the guy that can withstand the, I'm going to get out of all my shorts and go totally hog long. So I'm totally long now. And I'm going to put some more buy limits in. Actually, these never got filled. So you can see I'm keeping a running diary. And if I go to the candlesticks, you'll see the just arrows. So a lot of people don't like the balls. I get that. Maybe they have some. They've seen too much of it. And so if you, for a line chart, you see the balls, but I can only see the line chart with the balls. Candles, completely different story. And this is way better than Renko. Renko is just, to me, is too idealistic. I mean, okay, you have to have a strict trade plan for that thing. Well, you have a strict trade plan for this, but it's kind of taken, it's smoothed out the volatility a little bit too much for me. It doesn't show me where to put the, and maybe it does. I don't know if there's wicks poking. I haven't looked into it. But to me, it looks wickless. It looks too utopian. It needs more bad stuff going on. It needs more dysfunctional. I still have my 1 period moving average laid on top of the candlesticks, though. And this is a real mind bender, because this is when you realize, okay, when the line chart goes flat, it's either 1 or 2 dojis. And here you have 2 dojis with a flat line. And if you can see that. Oops. Yes, so here, right here. Doji, 4 hours. There's 8 hours of doji. Then we have the stampede to the top side. But this is where the trailing bear limits, instead of money management, they're like, okay, we're prepared to stop and reverse as soon as we tag that. Okay, now it's trapping. It's trapping the people that probably hoping, and this is another thing, we can't really see that on the chart, hope, but we would say that anybody that decides to trade that trade plan's hoping that, oh, it's breakout, that was the pullback, we've retested, we've stopped punted, we're done taking out all this liquidity that started here. And this was key level, this was a key level, there was a reaction there probably, and there was, here just sliced through. Finally, at the round number, we start to drift back, and then when they trap these money manager guys who get stopped out of their winning shorts, don't forget, you're picking those up very shallow, and this is when you can run tight. I just don't see how this is not obvious. You can run tighter pip stops, not money pips, because there could be 40 guys making money on this chart, and they'd be like, oh, I see your trade. Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, me criticizing somebody, I'm only trying to wake them up. Or the people that fell into thinking that, well, this guy must know what he's doing. Look, he's making money. Therefore, it translates to he knows what the fuck he's doing. He could not know what the fuck he's doing and could be a great money manager. How do you think these banks do it? They got their head up their ass. They're all following the same bullshit. It's like a Hollywood star. They're reading their own fucking commentary. Oh, they think they're great. Dude, you could just, like that movie, was it Twilight Zone, the movie, back in the 90s or 80s, and this couple people died with the helicopter blades. Yeah, shit happens. So it's not a, look at this thing. Low volatility, insane doji, and I'd say that this is a doji too. So this is an inverted hammer as far as I'm concerned. The fact that this candle went ripping down, like I just want to say, for me, I'd have to smooth out these candles. I don't look at this as a bearish engulf, or this is not a bearish candle. It's like the wick is so small here. If it was a shaved candle. Okay, this one, screaming up like this. Who's not selling that on the clock? And somebody was mentioning that in the forex hangout, trading on the clock. Well, okay, it doesn't matter. This guy's running the forex, Curtis Handley's asking, I don't get, why would you sell it? Well, why wouldn't you, right? Given the right stop and the right sizing and the right exit, the right ratios, why wouldn't you? But see, here's all or nothing thinking coming now. Dude, you got to come up with a strategy and stick to it. Quit system hopping. Granted. But you'd have to system hop if you wanted to be able to do the swing trade and the scalp. Because you're going to have to trade a different system. Okay, maybe it's the same trade. You're swing trading a 1 minute chart. So if you're a swing trader and you're swing trading 1 minute charts different than swing trading the daily charts, it's going to take you 8 days to get paid. It's only going to take you 8 hours to get paid on the 1 hour swing. You can see the entry, the final capitulation, and you can see it on the tick chart, and you can be there for it, and you can pull the trigger for that. But you could also have the dumbest fucking pendings already pre-laid out in there. And you could also do the bracket. So when I used to talk on Skype with these other traders, I would trade like the biggest goober, and I'd make money along with them. I'd be like, okay, I got it, buy, stop, buy. I'd be like, oh yeah, I see what you're saying. No, it's in an uptrend. I see, no. Like, obviously, this big up is so hard. And then you get the hanging man, a little kickback, and here comes the trailing limits gobbling up that. Here comes the stop punt, guys. Oh, we'll take that off your hands. And then don't forget, unlike marriage, where you're married and that's it, and you think it's just going to, no, come back, you get divorced, you get married again. The markets are amazing because they're not like real life. So you can retap your ex-wife here. And here is the infamous wick top. Double top becomes a triple top. The market goes up, spends 12 hours dicking around up here, then comes back for the retest and the stop hunt there. Now, you didn't have to have much brains to run a trailing buy limit if you think the market's going up, and even if you don't, and your ratios are good. So yeah, I trade. That's all I trade is demo. I'm done. I'm done arguing with people. I just let it be said this way. This way, nobody will. Right, I'm not going to have this anxiety. So you can see what I'm doing. You could choose to do what I'm doing, which I've made money this whole 3 days with this demo account. Only because I'm not really trading the shit out of it, and I've cashed out. Okay, why am I making money? Why didn't I make money in the other account when I was in some ungodly millions of dollars of 1K? Because I didn't fucking cash out. Well, cashing out is very important. Cashing in, or getting into the market is very important. So going flat, coming back in, go flat, it's a lot more work, but it's worth it. And it's just like the idea that you're going to quit your day job. I'd say trading's harder because it's like owning a store that has an intermittent rush hour. Yeah, I guess Asia's slow, but Asia can be fucking insane. Has anybody sat through Asia? And here is Wednesday. Coming into, we could just do anything. And if there's news coming out of Australia, so we could place pendings on Australia. And I would just do that. Yes, all I trade is demo account. I've just done arguing with people. So I'm just going to speak to the people that give a fuck, I suppose. I'm done fighting with people. So that's also a trade. It's fun in some regards, right? It's fun to play, pinch the dildo. But after a while, even that gets boring. But look at this. In this broker here is pure Bitcoin. So this is like the new frontier, and it's not easy. I find myself to be very inflexible as far as this Bitcoin thing goes. I'm getting used to it. I'm warming up to it only because the cell phone's letting me. It's making it feel, although I feel like the devil is, I'm atheist, but I feel like the devil is in the cell phone. And I was watching these guys talk about 5G is so high frequency that your nuts will melt when you're making a phone call. And I'm like, okay, well, we could just get a fucking lead shield, and can't we just get like a put the cell phone in the other room leaded, and then just run mics over there and put little baby headphones on your cell phone and treat it like a fucking, or have those, have it like a dummy and they're holding it. And I don't get it. It's got the thumbprint. Yeah, that's, people are going to be cutting your finger off, dude. I don't even want that. I don't really want a fingerprint login on my phone. Because it's what, I want to lose my fingers, not be able to play guitar. Oh boy. So, and the 4-hour chart. Oh my God, Becky. But yeah, this is squirrely, and right, I'm just in one currency pair, I think. Let's double check that. So I changed my font size here. Inside of Windows, I don't like it. I like a very crude monitor. So this is here is the 4-hour chart, totally zoomed out. This is what most people would say. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. Like these people. Let's take a look at the weekly. Yeah, to me, it's bullish as fuck on the weekly, but that's just based on my trend line. And then people would say trend lines don't work, but it's just that all the trend line is showing you is a diminishment of volatility. Actually, the triangle is showing you the diminishment of volatility. And something's got to give. I doubt that that's one thing you could say. Look at this one here. Look at this coil. Now, this is insane. Look at this. Now, what were people thinking here? Oh, my God, how long is this thing going to fucking create this triangle? It's like the worst choice of colors for my triangle. So, yeah, I don't have any, I just don't care, I guess. People think I'm insane just because I don't care. Look at this fucking thing. You can connect these little MT4 trick here. Look at these, double click. I think I can glue them together. No, shit, I was able to do that once. So anyways, there you go. Oops. Fell apart. And then it exploded. Now here was the auction trap I was talking about. Is when the market falls in a hole like this, and of course, for the impatient person, I'm sure that SEAL Team 6 guy could handle this trade. Gets in. Everybody's telling him, dude, you're fucking crazy, man. That thing's going to keep tanking. Like, you are fucking an idiot. Stupid bloated idiot. But look at this price zone. Look at this. The final, if that's head and shoulders, that'd be the head. Carry that forward and look just how that just dips in there. That's a big deal. That's a big deal pivot. But there's a million pivots in here. Which one do you want to trade? So that's another question. Well, which pivot do you want to trade? Okay, well, I can see this one. We could have had a buy limit sitting here in this little trench, this little basement. So here's the basement, and the rooftops are here. So we can see the liquidity pool stretches all the way back to these dojis. So a 30-minute chart's a lot more work. So let's go to the 1-hour chart. So how hard do you want to work at this trading thing? Of course, the 4-hour chart's going to be the easiest. We could do goober buy stops. Like this could be the buy stop here. So you don't want to go against, unless you're going to scalp a skosh, you don't want to go against the big tide. Okay, the 4-hour chart. So let's really drill down on this. Can you make money with just candlesticks on the 4-hour chart And of course, it's broker dependent, but we don't care about that because we will just be a slave to that broker's closing. And when daylight savings time shifts, we'll have to be aware of that. That's gonna, and people say, "Oh, it's fucked up my charts." Yeah, people are very locked in. Of course, don't forget we're trading money, real or fake. Hopefully fake for some people out there. Just because it's easier to, well, it's better to do both because you can have a right and wrong view of it, and you can have a risk view of it. So if you consider demo to be right and wrong, you're full of shit, here's how you trade, watch. Now it's just a matter of how much money. So this guy was suggesting you trade $200. Okay, great. And for some people, that's demo money. I mean, that's just hooker money, like this guy in Germany used to say. That's just dumb. Just do whatever you want money. But notice how the small bodies just jump out at you here. So I have a trade plan for small bodies, and if it's small wicks, I definitely have a better trade plan. And I'm starting to get close to the spread, though, so it's not the best as far as longevity of getting through the trade without getting crushed out of it. So if I go look at the, I'm going to use a monster crayon. If we just block off these bodies, and we just, okay, I wish I had a indicator that just made all the small bodies turn white. Now that would be sweet, right? So I'm just going to do it manually. And of course, you realize that there's not that many trades. I would omit this one. It's too big of a body. So a body filter would be sweet. And you could say, well, let me just combine them and go, okay, well, this guy, I would almost say that qualifies. And I could include this one, and this would be a sloppier bot. Same with this. Now, if we take it to the next risk, of course, this one here, right? If you're going to start risking that, but at some point you got to say, homie, don't put buy stop and sell stop on this shit. Because it's too big of a pip risk. Because if you're only allowed to trade one case, you'd have to go to a nano account to justify spreading that much stuff. Now, if you have the goober entry, sell stop, and sell at the market and buy at the market possibly with a stop here, and you have all your protection here riding along. This thing starts to go in your favor and starts to chunk out that. Maybe you're cashing out, you're cashing out, you're cashing out, you're cashing out, and now you're buying into it. And you have a stop here that gets stopped out, but this one doesn't. So you have to be a dynamic person. You have to adjust to conditions. It's like the weather. You can't predict it, but you should know when there's a storm. And look at this, as you go take out these rooftops, look at the fuel on that puppy. Didn't make this rooftop, though. So we doji out. This is the great entry for the guys on. There's probably a double bottom on the 1 hour chart. This is a beautiful stop hunt. We would gobble up buy. No fills for the goobers, and they're geniuses. Although they had to risk quite a bit. So there's, let's say there's already 3 styles I could see here easily. We have the high pip risk, 4 styles. High pip risk, sell, contrarian, goober guy. He gets filled. He places his stop here. He moves his take profits till he gets stopped out. Right? Then we have our trading on the clock guy. Or selling new highs guy. He sells this new high. He sells, and there's no more new highs to sell. He's done. Maybe he takes profits here, and this one's underwater, and maybe this one he has to unload here. And he's a fucking amazing trader. I could show you 8 guys trading this chart. Right? Isn't it obvious? The guy that says, I'm waiting for a doji. I'm a doji trader. 4 hour doji is going to wait. And then we have the confirmation guy. Sell stops confirmed. Oh, sorry, I didn't want to. Okay, so that was that. Then we have the at the market doji entry guy. He puts on a hedge at the market. He loses a leg, but his ratios kick ass, so he makes this. And he would have to. He gets in here. He loses a leg, but he stays for the big kahuna ride. And has he done the pip? So what is the... And people would say, what is the... This is... I can already see the people in the chat room saying, okay, then we have to find out what the... oh, there was this kid out of Germany. These kids out of Germany are fucking nuts. This one kid who was kind of the guy that just... He drew a chart one day, and it was extrapolated out just like a Calvin Klein chart. I mean, this is a guy named Calvin that had pitchforks. Extrapolated out into, wow, wowie zowieville. And not to mention, this was, he was making a market call into like 10 years from now. And it was like something like this. And you would zoom out, right? We've all seen this. We've all wished, we all want, for ego and for money, this to happen to us, that we draw a trend line, like we make a channel, and we speculate that we're going to ride this channel. And what I do is right off, like most people do, right off the wicks. Right? And we're going to walk up this thing. We pulled back, and we can all see the scenario, can't we? Who hasn't played this game in their head, right? Fantasy football. They start hitting the buy stops. This puppy goes like this. It backs off. It goes like this. It backs off. We get a top. We come up bottom. It's just a beautiful fucking... Oh, it's just beautiful. But what could happen is... This is supposed to tank, and it ends up being vicious volatility into just nicking the tops of that to just come. I mean, what it's going to be about is what is the volatility of each candle. So you can extrapolate a straight line. It's more realistic to extrapolate something like in the order of this. Like just harsh, untradeable, real shit. No Renko, no tick bar, just utter bullshit. Just like this. Just like this. And how did you trade that? So you can go to Trader's Way any moment of any day and see people extrapolate and make projections in the future. And I got it. That's what your brain wants to do. You know, hey, look at, have 3 kids and she'll be getting her boob job by then. And I mean, it's right. I mean, okay, so now we have the current market. So I'll go back to the trading. Let's go back to the money. And really, what kind of person are you? Can you hang in these trades? Can you trade the 1 hour candlestick charts? And like, can you trade it just one candle at a time as it comes at you? Like I said, if you wanted to test yourself, you almost have to go like this. Give yourself only... here's a test for anybody. Anybody wants, I recommend a demo for this test. See how you do here. That's all you know. That's all you know. What if that's all you knew? How about less is more? If that's all you had to judge your trade on, you'd probably go, dude, give me the 5-minute chart. You're killing me. Okay, 5-minute chart. This is all you know. What's the trade, bitch? I say buy limits, but I'm already long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cash out of everything that's up because I've got a key that'll do that. And it only works on demos. By the way, everything I'm doing only works on a demo. I forgot to tell you that. Full disclosure, I don't charge for anything because the whole channel's fake and so are the scripts. So is MT4. So my second So I got divorced, and then I had this girlfriend for 7 years, and she was very suspicious. And she thought that inside the computer, somebody was making the price do that. It wasn't real. And I had to get rid of her. Eventually, we had to break up because I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't know if I can deal with this. She thinks it was, I mean, maybe she's joking. She not a good reason. Maybe she out-joked me. Oh, that's pretty funny. That's really funny. You out-joked me there. Norm MacDonald. Yeah, joke me there. Look at this 5-minute chart. Wait for it to update. I can't wait. Go to 1-minute chart. Oh, look at the breakout here. See, here's the problem. If you put a buy stop there, the ask is the white line and the black is the bid. You can see him pumping that thing. He's manipulating the market right here, son. You see what's going on? I know. Tell me. It lowered the leverage because of this manipulation. This is what they're trying to protect us. I know, dude, I know. Don't you feel safer now? I kind of do feel a little safer. Look at the spread goes to 0.1 pip. It'll be interesting. I actually put a 1 pip grid up once just to see. Oh yeah. The market turns around on 1 pips too. A 2 pip grid, I got it in here. Here's 2 pip grid. Check that out. That's 2 fucking pips, son. That's $200 in $1 million position. You get $1 million position. You can do it at this spread here. It never goes really bigger than a pip. I'm not paying commissions, but that's okay. I don't even care if I'm paying 1 pip in commission. That means it's 1.5 in Asia right now. Okay, 5-minute charts. I can hardly wait for the update. Oh, geez. Well, so we had an inverted hammer here. We're long. We got stopped out of these little guys. So we're long. There's a half hour. 1 hour. 4-hour chart. So the 4-hour chart, full disclosure, son. We only show you each 4 hours. Oh, you only get to see 8 hours back. Let me see how much I can zoom out here. So this is a real brain teaser, is to limit the data and expand it like this. So another reason why it's so hard to trade with a very large position at this time, these erratic moves make you very nervous. You see your equity fluctuate and it make you very nervous if you're not used to that much money. And look at this breakout of the doji on the 15. Beautiful. That's a beautiful shot, son. Nice. You got a little hook in it there, son, but it's a nice shot. Okay, and I'm long. I'm going to put a buy limit in. Now, here's where the fun begins. And this only works on a demo account, sadly. It's a heartbreaker. Put a buy limit right there. Getting inside the spread. Oh, just went long. Look at that. Just gobbled that ticket up. Now, what I could do is I could cash that one out as soon as it breaches this candlestick here, if it does. If it don't, then it means it's going the other way. And I wait. So it's 30 minutes. I got to wait another 20 minutes. I can't wait. Okay, so I'm going to go to the 5-minute chart. So to be honest with yourself is the hardest thing. Okay, we just broke out of this doji here. Go to the 1-minute chart. We just had an extreme doji. And I guess you can only get so many bars in there. Okay, 1-minute chart. It's down by. It's down by. Just got filled at the 2 pip handle. I'm up in that trade. I could get out. If I make up the commission, which I think it just about did, almost out. Okay, now I can stack these puppies in a pip out apart. I'll buy that if it slams down to here. So where's that in the landscape of everything? If I go like this, the daily. So this is cool. I can only see back 4 days. How could you fuck this up? So all week long I would buy here, and if the news comes out tomorrow and it's astoundingly bad, I definitely want to buy down here with a 50 pip stop. So this is how I would trade this. I would put the 50 pip stops down here at the 100-yard line. And when the news comes out tomorrow, so if these could last all week, and these would be good all week long. And how do you know that? Because if you go to the weekly chart, you're only allowed to look back to here. You can see this is definitely prime real estate down here. And you'd say, but you're getting stopped out there. It doesn't matter, because you have a different stop and a different size. You don't have the same size down here. So all month long, I could put orders here. I've got a monthly chart. Would you buy here if we went there tomorrow? Now you can see how good a trade that is. The market comes down to here tomorrow because the news is so god-awful, the market drops 400 pips in a half an hour. I think this is the ultimate exercise, is to look at not just the price depth, but the time depth. So if you're one of these Fibonacci time guys, if you're so Fibonacci that you went to Fibonacci time, and I did it once, and I found no reward, not even a nut, as Dale Pinker would say. Didn't even find a nut. Blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. So that's a real, I hate that. It's really depressing commentary. But if you reduce the amount of data here and expand it, it's like, wow, that's a real eye-opener. And look what these orders lay in the landscape of things here. It doesn't look like this is a bad trade now. Oh, I buy down here with a 17, 20 pip stops, 50 pip stops. Now, I would trade with 100. I haven't written the script yet, but imagine you write a script that risks 100 to make 50. That's a perfectly good trade, because you'll probably make your 50. And Ryan Brown realized that. That's why he said it. Now, you can't have everything like that, because you've got to have some stuff where it's an actual, like you can't, you know, as much as you may love running off with another guy, you still can't make babies. And it was just, you know, the guys know what they want. And so look at this gap up. I'm missing data here or something. There's something wrong there, isn't there? I think I have missing data. It's evolved markets. What do you want? Right there. That's what Ryan Brown was talking about. You know, scamming him on them slippage. A lot of slippage. It's when you're too small and it falls off. And slippage. All right, let me start over from scratch here. Whoops. Let me close out my pointless rant. Just say that we're leaving the station, son, here on this monthly, so batten down the hatches. Damn the torpedoes. Full speed ahead. We are going up in creeper gear mode on the yen. All aboard? Now, you'd have to say that everybody's going to be selling on limits here for the scalp, and probably only for the scalp, right? We get too much out of that. My computer's slow. Got to invest in a computer. These, so yeah, there's going to be a lot of sellers coming in up from here all the way up. I would say from here to here. And they're all the way to insanity, which is way up here from 2018. Wow. And look at this double monthly basement here. Luscious fill. Why is the chart jumping around like that? It's just not even hardly trading now. So we're making money. What can I tell you? Just got filled on these. So I'm up 14,000 bits. Whatever that is. It's probably not enough. Another problem with money is people don't like to talk about how much, if you notice. They'll say, you're a big loser. All you do is lose. Well, my argument is, the moment you pull the trigger, everybody's a loser. If you're an absolutist, if you think about it in absolutes, all or nothing, logic, yes, you're down the spread. You're done commissions. And even if you're up, it's only momentary, because if we're really going to move up, we could pull back a half a pip before we go up 100 pips. It's occur to anybody that that's a possibility. And if that's a possibility, then if that's a probability, for high probability trading setups, you would put your order half pip deep. So it's not for everyone, because people say, well, I just get in the market. But because don't you want a better price? And this is the thing that people will do at the grocery store. I'm sure it's been proven, the dollar auction. Anybody studied the dollar auction? There's not a lot of videos about it, but people would pay more than $1 for a dollar bill, because once the crowd bids it up, they will pay more than the face value of that bill, because they are afraid somebody else is going to have it. They're chasing it. And they're chasing the other guy chasing it. And so if you claim you don't like to chase the market, well, then you have to place all your orders in a non-chase status, which means you have to trade counter entry, and you have to be a contrarian on entry and a trend trader on exit. If the price pulses pull back, and then the big move is, people wouldn't trend continuation trade unless they thought the bigger price pulse was in the direction of the trend. But time-wise and price-wise, it can be huge pullbacks. Wave C can be astounding if you believe in wave C. In Elliott wave, wave 3 is the biggest wave. In Elliott wave is just a price pulse scenario. C is more vicious and in a shorter time. Corrections are quick and deep, and it can be the beginning of a new trend. It can melt the market. It can come into price and never, in other words, the longer the formation of uncharted price, in my opinion, this is what the vacuum is causing, or the pressure. But vacuum is just inverted pressure, so it's the same thing. And then there is like the end of the week. So this is the middle of the week. How does this thing finish up the end of the week? And could you have counter trend traded this for not the fastest money, but the fastest, dirtiest money on this chart? And it's very dirty money because it's not trend money. There's a big difference between good money, and this is what this guy said, they're making good money. Good money, bad money. If you had sell limits on these rooftops here, and you caught this pullback to here in 8 hours, you made a lot of pips where it was a struggle. Like for you to make that amount of pips here, if you bought here, kind of started finally here, and then, if you consider that to be the big winning trend continuation trade, you still had to buy the stop hunt. Yeah, you could have put a buy stop here and been a trend continuation trader and made X, but you were still risking X, so your ratios weren't that great. Your potential risk of loss ratio is nothing, so there's a difference there too. Your potential risk of ruin ratios compared to what you actually end up hitting. So if it's a dollar amount, if you put 100 pips stop to make 50 pips, can you find it anywhere on the chart you could do that? And that would be if you could afford the dollar risk of 100 pip stop. So if you can handle that, then you're up for the next level of punishment. If you consider risking punishment, and most people think risk is bad, they're risk averse. You can see this, people that trade that are risk averse, it's obvious, right? They undertrade it. They have too many indicators, or they have too many reasons. Maybe they're stacking up. They're making a case. Oh, I like that one. Well, I'm making a case for this trade. I give this a 9. I give this. I mean, that's completely viable, right? But at some point, you're going to walk in the bar and you go, "Oh yeah, I've seen this one before. I've seen this situation before." And you're like, "Okay." And then it would be a classic thing where you just go through the whole relationship in 30 seconds and you're done. You can already see she's doing something annoying. You're like, "Oh yeah, I can see how that'd be a problem. Okay, I'm over it. Next." And so that was the same thing in the trading thing. And of course, whether you want to get into a trade that lasts 12 hours. Now, for some people, that is way too long to be exposed. And if you're trading without stops, which I watched this forex hangout guy trade quite a bit, and I'm sure he's befuddled by what I do, but I'm extremely confused by what he's doing because I just don't get it. Like, I don't know. I guess it's all psychological, obviously. In other words, his decisions are psychological. And the comfort zone, right? Of course, and you don't need the money, right? If you don't need the money, or it's a demo account. So if somebody criticizes my trading because I'm on a demo account, I'm fascinated by that too, because I could lose on this demo account. And so if you lost on a demo account, people couldn't wait to say, look, dude, you blew up that demo account. But if you made money with a demo account, they'd say, oh my God, dude, you made money because it's a demo account. It makes no sense, right? Only if you made money because you were fearless and you blew up 5 demo accounts, but this one you made money. But if you just put on 40 standard lots in the guppy and walk away, I can almost guarantee you're either going to blow it up in 3 days, or you're going to make a ton of money in 3 days, or you're just going to not do either. You're just going to be like slightly down or slightly up. But you almost blew it up, and you didn't get to see that. My tequila buddy would do that all the time on real money and demos. He would run a demo, and the next day he goes, I'm up 60 grand. I go, yeah, but you don't know if your account was flashing red, and these accounts would flash red. If they had 30% margin stop out. In other words, it would flash red, but you'd still be in the trade. It just meant that you ran out of available margin, or you're getting close to running out of available margin. And I guess this is what the leverage, the risk is people don't understand that they're in a huge position. And and of course that dollar risk too is not real money. In other words, if you put the money in the account, you obviously had money to blow up. You had that money to blow up. So what does that say about you? Well, you're already wealthy on some level. If you can afford to lose $200 or $2 grand, you have some type of, you made it so far, right? You made it this far. So, so I've done streaming, and it still says I'm streaming live, which is bullshit. YouTube's all fucked up. And, I'm still getting these copyright infringements for shit I did like 3 years ago. It's cracking me up. Yeah, you got this thing you put on, you're banned, and my videos are banned in just every country. I'm so proud of that, because I remember when I was a kid, my sister said, oh, that's banned. I go, you got to put that song on. It's banned. The Mighty Quinn's been banned, or something like that. Some British album was banned in 40 countries. I'm like, well, make me a copy of that now. If it's banned, I want it. If it's risky, I want to do it. If it involves kind of a game, I suppose, like a chess game, I'm into that chess game stuff. I don't want to end up like Bobby Fischer, though. What happened there? That's very bizarre. But I think that's what happens when you're so fucking smart. You end up just freaking out, maybe. Maybe you don't want to be too smart. That's why God invented beer, I think. And that helps, right? Now, so we're down 700 bits here. What do we call them? Hakanashis, what do they call them? And we're just treading water here. It's Asia, top of the hour. 5 minutes before the top of the hour, we'll see some drama now. And before we pop the cork to the north side, we could have an insane stop hunt for the bears. Too tight a money management stop hunt. I'll just call it, okay, whose stops are being hunted? The guys with really tight money management stops who are afraid of giving the market any kind of breathing room. If they're long the market, they're going to get gobbled up. So we know what that is, but we could also buy their stops off of them. We could be the guys that hunt their stops in a hidden manner. So nobody's going to know that we're hunting their stops. We're going to do what supposedly the big boys do to the little boys. I remember watching this video of this guy, and granted this was the scheme back then. It was explained to me that so many trading presentations. This is just one slice of it. That big fish, little fish, and the big fish are going to eat the little fish. Like there was an analogy or metaphor between trading and you don't have to be the little fish. You could watch the show and participate and choose either team. In other words, they're not actually going to gobble you up. I thought that was kind of a little bit overly germ. I mean, just, anything to create fear, I guess, in people. It's very risky. We're on a ticker tape of risk. So cute. Look at that NASDAQ. And look at all these markets. So we just go perusing for a little bit here. I'll come back here in 2 minutes to this dollar yen. Look, just fascinating. I can't wait for gold to melt down. I don't know. We've breached this 2-year low in gold. I'm wondering if we can cave into the hole. I don't trade gold. Not even on demo. I only just paper trade in my mind, but I know I'm a bear on gold. As in, it's like Bitcoin. Although this looks like the perfect bullish setup you'd ever see in your life. You could also fade the perfect setup. In other words, you could go with the opposite. The only argument that this is not done tanking is that if you use RSI as a true, instead of overbought, oversold, you use it like Andrew Cardwell would. As soon as it goes below here, you're like, uh-oh, bearish territory. In other words, there's nothing really for gold to get the party started in the monthly. You kind of need a double bottom reversal. You need some kind of divergence. There's no divergence. I mean, it's literally agreeing as it melts down. It is in agreement. But then you could see, you can make the argument here. Okay, but yeah, explain this one. Oversold. And this is a reversal in a sense, maybe from this one. But now you've breached it. This, and this didn't really bear all the fruit. We still got crushed here, and we're way underwater from where we got in on this one. Here's your Andrew Cardwell reversals. More overbought at a lower price. Keeps melting down. Here's your only divergence here. Right. A nice big divergence trapped underneath. Just like that dollar yen was auctioned underneath. Bangs up. Sellers come in and they end up engulfing. And here comes the volatility players. They just also self-fulfilling from the money management bull bots get filled here, and they fuel into that. Gold from a trailing buy stop right now, but this could be the trap of the goobers here. Confirmation goobers are ready to go long gold here, and it's not so fast, and there'll be a big contention if we make it back to this floor. I think that's obvious. Okay, let me just go through that. I'm watching my balance here. Keep track of my performance here in the corner. Oh, can't get it to show. Okay. Just scroll down to it here. Now, let's see, UK. Let's go to NASDAQ. What in the hell's going on here? So the sellers finally came in on the NASDAQ. Holy majoli. I'm going to put my indicator up here. Template is probably the wrong thing to do with the stock, but look at that thing pull back. Wow. Look at that. Oof. Nice. Now, I doubt this is going to hold. I'll be honest with you here. Okay, we just breached the top of the hour. So we're making our money back here, and I'm just going to let it go. It looks like the bulls are coming in now. Dollar yen. I'll put a goober buy entry in here on the Okay, I'm going to go to the, I'll put a buy stop on this overpay for that entry there. I'll add to my, if it's going up. And I'm going to put some buy limits down here all day long. So nice thing about single drops like this, it's really hard to blow up the account. This is $5 risk per drop. So $5 drops. It took me about 2 hours to write that many. Only runs on a demo. Full disclosure. So, yeah, don't even try to make money with this fucking shit. Some guy made a comment about one of my videos, a robot, ATR bot, like 3 years ago, and he said, I'm always leery of this free stuff. I got you. Don't download it. The skepticism, and you can hardly blame it because, you see people all blinged out with a Maserati going, here and trade the forex markets here. Come and get your forex right here. Come on, everybody. Get a little piece of forex going on in your life. Jesus, heal me with a forex trade. Oh my God, brother. We went a hog long there, and we were keeping kosher because we couldn't use them. We didn't want to say hog long. We used bacon bits on that one. But yeah, this is. I couldn't be happier if it pulled back. So the thing is that do I wait? If I get in and out, if I keep getting in and out, it's going to cost me. I have to be very good at getting in and out, or it's going to keep costing me commissions and spread every time I'm iffy about, I don't know if I want, get back. And I've done it. And of course, now going into Asia, I've sat in huge positions during Asia going, oh my God, I can't believe I'm in this fucking trade. Holy shit. I got to add on pullbacks. Oh my God, I'm in so big. And so I just bit the bullet, and I tell them, but I don't like that trade. I'd rather be a goober breakout trader than to hold. Now, it is conceivable, given the right amount of punishment calluses, that you could have bought here. Yes. And you could have not got out here, and you could have not added here, and you could have not added here, and you could have just... this is like, it's like 20 hours. And you're like, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I am so smart. I got in here. I had patience and discipline. I even hired some girl to come over and bait me. And I didn't add here. Now, I was thinking I should add, but no, I had to stop here, and I just did what they said. In power trading, they taught me how to have patience. And here comes the simpleton motherfucker bragging about this and bragging about that, talking about these mini vacuums and then going up here and going back there, and all this is fucking over. I can't even fucking pay attention. So fuck him. Go ahead, fuck me. I couldn't be happier. It's almost like so I'm watching this MGTOW stuff. This is Men Go Their Own Way. I'm thinking that we got to start one called Traders Go Their Own Way. Like fucking power trading, fuck me, fuck anybody. Just go with your own fucking shit. You want to go and you want to go and be a guy that has like these guys, they got 10 wives. Like, whoa, okay. Back it down a notch, get 5. Or they got 0 wives, right? They're just a complete slut. Whatever rips your garter belt off, whatever snaps your elastic. So, because I can't fucking manage it, dude. Like, I get, it's a kick, right? And of course, it is funnier than hell to insult people and make fun of stupidity all day long. Come on, I mean, these guys like, I can't believe you're insulting perfectly good try. I mean, these are like trading is a noble effort. Psh, making fun of that Jason Greystone. What's hysterical? I just don't think I would want to. Okay, it's not like I couldn't do what they're doing and teach people how to trade and charge them. But to be honest with you, I don't think I'm helping anybody with their real problem. It's not about how much money. It's not about, like, money's never going to help you. So this guy says I'm mentally ill. Well, isn't everybody a little bit unique. So you could say, well, unique's mentally ill then. Well, let's redefine it. I mean, these are the kind of people is you got to be careful of, because they're the kind of people that aren't going to be writing the laws, you know. And with the fucknuts with the guns, I mean, now there's such a sensitive filter. Well, I heard that Shipperton's nuts. Yeah, he's nutty. I can't even get a gun now. I get a demo gun. That's all I'm allowed to have. Hey, he's got that gun with blanks. That's all they'll let him have. Oh, but, you know, it goes on and on, doesn't it? Okay, so the top hour is coming on. I think we could pull back. I'm willing to buy on limits, but I'll buy super deep here. And if I put a 50 pip stop on these guys, that's different than putting a 12 pip stop on that and putting in twice as many orders. And you can only see the complexity of all these tickets. And somebody would say, oh, all those scripts and all, geez, oh Christ, man, that's so much work. Like, no, I don't think so. Because I know right here it's $5. Like, I don't even care about the take profits, because if this thing was to rocket down here, or say in London it's smashing down into here, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm getting filled. I don't even have to look at it. Most times you would know you're getting filled. Even if you traded manually with single tickets like old school here and you went, okay, so here, if you don't have scripts and you don't need them, you don't need all that leverage if you know how to trade. Golly. Buy limit here. But now you got to hunt that puppy down. It's right here. There is no stop in it yet. So you have to go to modify. And this is a real pain in the ass. With a 5 decimal broker, you got to get below the price. Okay, did I modify that? Shit. I'm pissed off now. I don't even want to do that trade. I don't even know what size that was. Okay, it's just a 1K. But that's how you have to do that. I have to go hunt that down and kill it. I didn't put a take profit on that. Anyways, it's in there somewhere. I don't think it's going to change my ultimate math on this trade, though. So that's the thing. And I don't even know what that stop is I put on there. So I have an unknown risk there. What if I keep with this scheme here? I'm trading big here because I have a 10 pip stop. I could also put these 10 pip stops down here and scalp. I have a scalp bank interwoven with the swing bank. And just, I've been doing that for years now. And it's completely viable. Now, the only problem is that if you overload that, just like if you oversize any one position, it's a problem. If you weren't prepared for that much percentage of risk, and I would take your whole net worth and say you risk a percentage of that. God, I see I got 2,000 views on this price action trading. Just because I call it price action trading, I made fun of this guy for 35 minutes. It was hysterical. Some British guy. No offense to British people, but it is funny that people, maybe it's only people in America that think that British accent somehow is some kind of stamp of authenticity stamp of the truth. It is a comforting accent. I guess it feels as if, well, they must know because they're so proper. If they were more hillbilly, I don't think I'd trust them as much. Like, I mean, a British forex mentor, I think it's going to be a lot better than a country bumpkin forex mentor. Now, come here. You see that mouse over there? Get your finger on that mouse. Maybe I'll zap you with this cattle prod. You don't get that trade going. Chase that market, bitch. Chase that market. Go get in there. So you don't chase that market, I'm getting the belt. I know you don't like chase, but you're going to chase. So, I mean, actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea to have a coach that forced you to do trades you don't like to do. You should see my trading coach. God damn it, man. I'm bleeding. My fingers. He made me buy 2 mouses in case one of them went down. What's the chance of that? Well, I found out. Wow, trading's. I mean, I don't even feel the risk in the account. I feel like I'm risking my fingers with this guy. Yeah, that forex boot camp, right? Make it a real forex boot camp. How about before you sign up, you know, they brand you. It's like, what is that thing where I don't know if they do it anymore, where they lock people up and then you have to go get ransom to get them out at some charity event. I'm like, dude, if somebody did that to me, I'll fucking sue them to pieces. That's why you have to have a demo life. It's not enough to have a demo. I kind of think a demo life would be that'd be the most titty thing, because then you'd be like, dude, I got decoy. You feel like Saddam Hussein. Get 3 demos of yourself out there. Anybody ever see I think I've watched it twice, The Paper Man from the 70s, where these kids got a robot running, and it's one of the gurus. I should put a link to that. Paper Man is just so quaint. And the Paper Man was getting credit cards and all this shit. But it had self-awareness kind of issues. But that artificial intelligence stuff that's coming out pretty soon, I'd get the fuck out of the way. That shit becomes self-aware, we're all fucking in trouble. When that thing starts to understand what come here you means. Come here ye. Okay, I'm looking to make a pantload of money as this market marches north. Anyways, that's my scheme tonight. I'll only come back if I'm winning. I only publish. I've been making videos for the past 2 months. Nobody knew it because they were all losing videos. See? There's another thing. You could actually just, like, this is another scheme people do. They got real account, and they got, they're making money, or they're in a hedge. It doesn't matter if they're losing. Like, everybody's aware of that scam. But I actually have I have no problem with people scamming people out of their money because they deserve it. It's like the girl that's, the hooker says, I love you. It's a problem. Can you believe them? Okay, so, I can see my take profits really nicely here on the black background here too. It's pretty sweet. Okay. That's the 1 hour chart, which this is another real eye-opener, is to go to that monthly and then go to the 1 minute. Ooh, I like this breakout here on the 1 minute. This is beautiful. Now, this stop hunt here, totally swing trade this 1 minute chart. So, how to swing trade the 1 minute chart? How to swing trade? You're gobbling this shit up here. You just buy this wick, this nasty wick where they took out. Dude, they took out the Asian low there. This is 5 p.m. I think that's 5 p.m. Look at them stop hunt, those bastards. We bought down there. And then we cashed out. So I cashed out a minute ago. But yeah, I'm going to put some goober buy stops in here now. That's confirmation entry there, boy. At 2-pip grid. Now I'm going to put in the pullbacks. So I'm going to donate half of my stuff to goober entry and half to that market maker daredevil shit you be buying down here, new lows. You daredevil to me, what, you fucking martingale trader? Oh, I see. Oh, that was that guy's name, Edge. So Edge says, let me guess. You're putting orders down here, you pussy. We all know those are good trades. Why don't you do what I'm doing, trade the market real big? So that's another thing. What kind of pussy puts orders down there where it's a good price? I always had that vibe coming from people. You don't understand the patience it takes to sit underwater in a large position over several hours. So that is what a real man does. What you're doing is pussy trading. You're setting the orders in there like some kind of fucking, oh, I don't know if I want to get in unless it gets down to my price. It's so hysterical. And of course, not a lot of girls fighting me. It's so cute. They're usually not going to step. They go, you're full of shit. Look at you. And of course, this guy, Edge, was saying, I hate women. He doesn't even, listen to that guy. Well, you don't see the women complaining. I guess no women watching. A couple, maybe. Look at this move here. Holy shit. Another reason I don't like this chart is it's a heartbreaker. It's like, damn. I wish I fucking would have traded that. God damn it. I knew I should have sold up there in that fucking 4-pip window. Shit. Why didn't you let me sell them? Because it was in an uptrend. I told you we don't counter trend trade. I think this is the biggest problem with this whole thing. Is if you look at these prices, you just have to say, what the fuck? And, like, okay, so there's a guy that sold this, and there's a guy that said, oh no, we're going higher. I'm going to sell at the tippy top in a 4-pip window. And I'm going to ride it all the way back and go edge to edge. I said about a long time ago with this fucking Edge guy, who me and this coke fiend from Europe, Scarface, we tripped this guy's wire. Like a claymore mine, this guy went off. I think you have to have a sense of humor. Can't we all get along? Everybody's a winner here. Brokers always win. And then people say, the way you trade, only the broker makes them. Okay, so great. That's my job is to make pips. Oh, here we go, going up. So I'm getting filled on my goober entries here. I'm pretty proud of that, actually. Took me a lot to accept that they are making money too. My margin usage just went way through the fucking roof. This better be a winner. And I can put my sell limits up here too. But look at this thing come all the way back. Trap up here and come all the way back, trap down there, and it just finally dives down and just kind of gets this, just a little bit too quiet, I think. A lot of people aren't going to buy it till it breaches that, and they will be totally correct, and they'll be like, dude, now they're going to hold that for 3 days, and they can put a stop here, and they go, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't get all this. In and out, up and what? Just can't you have the patience to sit in one trade? What the fuck is the matter with you? If you could hear this guy, and it's in one of my old videos, people attack my mom and stuff like this, so cute, like people at the school ground. It's like, somebody must have abused this poor trader. Listen to him go off on people. It's just not right. He has no respect for other people's view of reality. Oh, I do until you tell me the Earth's flat, and I'm like, dude, you're kidding, right? Now, would anybody be upset with you attacking a flat earther? Oh, sure. He's entitled to his opinion. Yeah, he's entitled to his opinion. Okay, I got it. All right. Anyways. And I'm cashing out on these, by the way. Predetermined on that. Except for that one ticket I've lost track of. Pisses me off. It's fucking 1K. And I don't set the... I don't know why it's not showing up. Actually, it should be by time when I put it in there. This has to be it now. I guess I put a take profit on. I don't know. I'm all or nothing. I'm either trading these scripts or I'm not. So, anyways. So we're in about 22K or something right now. We will make money if the market goes up. Let me go to a less psychotic look. Line chart cleans it up, and we'll zoom in, take out the ambiguity. It's less ambiguous. See the traps better this way. I do believe, son, that is a trap up there. Alrighty then, let's wait. Let's see how much money we can make in the next half hour. So here we come, tanking into my tickets. We never got trapped on these up here. And I'm on 30-minute chart, and I'm looking for a big sell-off into all my juicy limits. And this is where people have a problem with it. Putting on more risk. But I'm doing it in an incremental way. So I'm still up 12,000 bits. Whatever they are. All right. And the indicator just came back. Every half hour, this indicator is throwing in the ultimate entries also. Don't forget. Okay, now we're down 2,600. So we're up about 500 there just before this pullback. It was pretty decent. Huge pullback here. As we came up, we had a window. We could have made 500 bits if we sold into the rooftops. Right there. Now we come back. Now the buy stops are going to start stacking up above that. But we actually bought on limits now. So we put limits, like I said when I was talking earlier, all the way down to take advantage of everything down into here all tonight and into London Open. So it's 1,600 of margin, and let's see, we're down 22. We could afford for it to drop another 20 pips. And not even get stopped out of the new add-ons. And this is the big decision. So when you're trading in a graduated risk of 100x, that means you could be at 94 risk or you could be at 82 risk. Percentage of the total basket of your what you consider to be risky. So I could go for a 10,000 drawdown here. I'm only down 2,000, which means 8,000 left of headroom. And if it starts to scale in really widely, because the robot conception is that you throw in your orders way the fuck out there. If the market heats way the fuck up. So you're basically, and you're gonna have to put them wider apart. No. So you don't want to cluster them. So here's another big mistake: is if you cluster the same style of order, you've defeated the purpose of spreading your tickets. So if you put a scalp in with a swing, that's better. At two different entry prices also, because if you duplicate the entry, what you're saying is, I know this is going to be a good scalp and I know this is going to be a good swing. You don't know that. So if you don't know that, then you're going to put your orders in at least a half a pip apart. Maybe your swings are on the halves and your scalps are on the evens. You could go odd even. You could say, okay, well, half an odd. This is like 3. What is it? 3, 7, 9, and 90 pips, 70 pips. Those are going to be. But then when you do that, you've committed to this one thing. So maybe that's 2, and I could see how that'd be too much of a step. Maybe you want to make it more linear and just say, okay, every 10 pips, you make it metric. Every 10 pips, I buy a 1K. And we see how that does. How much money do I need in the account, and how far can the market go against me? Okay, so I'm picking up more tickets here, and I'm going underwater by 47. I'm tempted to put buy stops on the 1-minute chart now above the last thing, or I just wait for it to come catch a flying knife at this point. So what I would do is to make a lot of money is load really hard on the stuff that you see happening. So I see the market selling off hard now, and my inclination is to buy it as it drops. Catch a falling knife here. So I'm using 20,000 a margin, and I'm willing to go underwater by 20,000. And if I have overloaded it, then unfortunately I need to scalp out of the first 5-minute dead cat bounce if it looks like I'm not going to see another, like, look at this 5-minute sell-off, right? So we're coming into this ripe area. Now, if I'm not here to see it, I would make more money. But if I feel the need to scalp out of this, because I'm okay, as soon as we whip up into this floor, which is 3 pips above us, yeah, you'd probably have to get out. Like if it was real money there, or scared money, let's say. So when people say real money, I think that they're saying is scared money. Or not scared money, like in this big macho kind of money game thing. Well, it doesn't matter money. Time is money, and time ticking by. And like I said, it's outside of your belief system that you can make a lot of money quickly because you're not supposed to be able to get rich quick, but you can. In forex, so that's never going to work out. If you believe you need to be in the market for a big, that you need to ride out a big, giant swing, and you don't want to be hassled of getting in and out, in and out, in and out. So it's not for everybody to be a scalper and to really pile into these trades and then get the fuck out and go, okay, there's $80, there's $800, there's $80, there's $800. If you were vacillating between making $20 and $1,000 per session, not per ticket, because it wouldn't give you enough flexibility. So the broker's actually giving you a huge opportunity by letting you incrementally come at the risk, at the dollar, amount. So that is in your favor. And even though I guess supposedly, right, you don't need, but the old joke is, how do you make $1 million trading? Start with 4 million. And so, okay, so we're breaking out, and we just trigger the 1 minute robots or people are on this thing. Okay, they're cashing out. So a lot of people that got in too big are cashing out now. Now, I've watched this trade a million times. It's I guess the big boys, or the guys that now this is a 2-pip grid, the guy on 1 minute chart, 2-pip grid. So the guys that can hang in there until we make it all the way back to 3 pips above where we're at. Now, it sounds pretty funny to say that, but you'd be surprised. Not to mention, somebody just made a ton of money right there. And this is classic stuff, classic price action. And look at how it turns around on the 2-pip handle there. So you can make the argument for there's 2-pip, the market finds support and resistance every 2 pips. Great. It's obvious. It's the holy grail right in front of you. Okay, great. Now what? Well, how many tickets do you put in there, and do you get into the market? Do you sit with your finger on the trigger and go boom, boom, boom? Do you have a predetermined 3.5 pip target built in with a 1.5 pip stop, and you only pull that trigger once every 20 milliseconds or every 20 minutes? You see the problem. It's like Mark Douglas says, ultimate expression. It's literally as if you could have a guitar and you play slide guitar for 5 songs, and only 1 guitar you play with your teeth. That's it. People go, you gotta see this guy. He plays slide guitar, and then when he doesn't, he just plays with his teeth. What's the fuck going on there? Turns out he's got a grill, with frets on it. And this would be the auction of coming to the top of the hour. Volatility's kicking up, and people have cashed out and are about to cash out. I'd say the bulls, dead cat bounce bulls, will probably get out in about 2 minutes. That 1 minute chart, you think they could pop that up at least 1 pip? They'll be getting out. And I don't blame them. Looks like they already got out, because they could just go rocketing down now. And we've all seen this happen. Market goes down, you're like, holy shit, look at this extension, they call them. It's funny they call that a price extension. Yeah, if you're in that trade really big, you would feel that extension. It's like stretching too far. You just broke your wrist. So you're coming down here, you invade this 2-pip window, and it's like, looks like a perfect triple bottom, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, ba-bam. But here you're living in a 2-pip window, which you have 20K you could load in there and never repeat an entry price. So don't forget, people that don't mind a lot of in and out trading, up and down, 1 minute chart with a 2-pip grid makes all the sense in the world. And you're a sniper, blah, 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 but you still have to get out and get back in, because for you to really milk the 1 minute chart, you might as well trade it. Yeah, it could be said that you would swing trade it. But, right, you can see the swing trades on here. Here's a painfully obvious swing trading. So since it's a 1 minute chart, you're looking at this and saying, oh, I'll buy new lows. So you buy new lows, but you have to dump them. Then you buy new lows again, and you got to dump something into the floor, but then they engulf and they rocket up, and the traps are really obvious here. And now you have buy limits here and buy limits here, and you get the perfect fill. The perfect fill with about a 3-pip stop. You survive that, but you have to realize that there's a double top here. Here's the rooftop. The sellers will come in, and so these are long stretched out, but not on the 1 minute chart. It's not that bad. Like this is like what is this? An hour and a half? I don't know. Fucking what's that? Like an hour? I don't know. Half hour from here to here? It wouldn't matter, because you can see obviously as fuck. Okay, now this is another great market order. You should have just pulled the trigger a minute ago. Why? Because it was down. Now, it's inconceivable for some people you'd have such a crude method. It's down, buy, upsell. It's fucking beautiful, right? But not for every ticket. You'd still be long on limits, which I am. So I'm not going to buy at the market because I'm already in. Now, do we hold through this? I say yes. I say hard down 1 minute. Oh, people are buying that. This is very oversold. You don't need the indicator. All you see is hard down. Okay, now they're cashing out. Now do we engulf? This goes on and on, over and over again. The 1 minute chart is quite a gold mine. And yeah, you would swing trade the 1 minute chart, and you would just place all your orders like that. Like, I don't understand this Curtis Hanley guy, this forex hanger guy. Why doesn't he trade the traps on the 5 minute? I don't get it. So he's putting orders way up, like, oh, he's going to sell. Now, this is a 1 minute chart, so let me just take it down to what he's looking at. In my opinion, this is just bizarre. He's like this. Okay, well, I'll sell up here. I'll sell here, and then it'll go down. Like, holy shit. Like, it could be said that on this chart, people are trading this fucking chart. It looks like a goddamn trick chart. Trigonometry. There's this guy used to call on the radio station. He called a white man trigonometry. It's tricking me. I use my trusty indicator here to tell me down here is a great place to buy in 5 days. That's what the 5 means. You could also look at it like that. That trades 5 days away. This trades 1 day away. So if you consider price over time into the future, you could tell people, well, that plus 5 means that target's 5 days away, which would make sense, because it's probably not going to rocket up into that fucking handle. And here you could say, look at this market respect these goddamn 2-pip handles. It's hysterical. Or look at the thing turn right there, and you can count all the pips you would have made in a very short period of time. We could zoom in like this, go blow by blow. Well, you can see the stop bots that are able to run a trailing sell stop. There's their first fill, and if they let these tickets remain in standing, and these are like, say, 2-hour scripts, you would run the risk of getting trapped, like you are here, getting trapped to the south side. But you would add to something here, and this is the problem. You need to have a continuously snug trailing stop that is this is a bigger ticket than these tickets, because if this order lasts for 2 hours, you don't want to be overexposed to a potential trap in this direction. these have to be small tickets, because if you have too many lingering big ass sells here and then they rip your face off all the way to here, then it's the dumbest fucking trade in the world, right? Now that is, okay, this is why everybody could say anything about any entry and exit based on if the size is too big, and you do that and you get butt fucked on that trade too many times. If you're the one being trapped, instead of you being the trapper, you're the trappee, what have you, you're the other guy. And so if you're not trading that reversal, which is a very daunting task, I suppose, because you really, as you see the order getting filled, you're like, holy shit. If it goes any lower, I don't know if I have enough fucking margin. So here, did I make this out of the woods? I'm probably still $2,000 underwater here. Let me take a peek. Okay, so I'm down 2,400. And so if this thing engulfs now, and of course everybody's cashing out, that is a person that scalps, they're already out. I guess the guy that only wants to be in the market for 10 minutes, he's obviously out. The 1 minute chart is really the most fun you'll ever have, I suppose, trading. And like I said, it's debatable. You could say it's too much. It depends who you are. There are people that can trade it. I might want to have a 5 minute chart on the left of me, but I could go to the 5. See, now the 5, it looks more chaotic than the 1. The 1 looks like a Renko chart. It looks like it makes sense on some level. And if I zoom out too much, it's going to be very unsensical. So I'd say the sense starts to go away as soon as you go zoom out. Okay, this is when it becomes unfucking believable. So there's a big difference between that and that. I'm just saying. And so on the hourly, this view where we're dripping down. Okay, this is where people are like, dude, you're getting killed on that trade. You go long. Now, I'm sure some guy that shorted it here is going, that's a shoulder, dude. Can't you see? Okay. Granted, but like this, anybody could say that to anybody, because the guy that doesn't mind being underwater, in other words, he's been married for 30 years. He's like, I got it. I know the program. Or you're the crazy outlaw, right? It's like Bonnie and Clyde all day long, just raiding all these stops, and you're the guy. When the news comes out, you're going, told you. So either way, like, what's going to happen tomorrow? And there's got to be some kind of raid for it to get the other backlash. So for us to have the counter move, we have to have the move. Or we're the guy that's making money on the move. So where do you come into this? If you step into Asia, can you step into, okay, it looks like we're in sell mode. Start trying to get in any little chance you can. That direction? Or are you going to go long? Or are you just going to sit on the sidelines and wait for deep fills when London opens? So there's different mentalities. I guess if you're over trading it from the standpoint of you're pulling the trigger at the market too often and the spreads are wide, you'd have to say for the most part that's probably not the best approach. Although, if you wait for the market to move and at least give you 3 pips of discount every time it pulses down, in hindsight you'd say, oh no, you built a position over every 4.5 minutes you bought one. Every 3 minutes you bought one. And, at the end of 28 minutes, you've got X amount of K. And it's logical. And you peel off a couple on the next bounce just because you need to pay for the risk of building such a situation. Or did you just scalp it, the whole thing, and dump it? So all these different scenarios. And, of course, as soon as you leg into something, and it's going to be... So if you don't think you're getting in big enough, you would just put in too many tickets without doing the math. So this is why the people say oh, you can't let these people trade with leverage. Yeah, because they would just literally say, well, the robots, no, it's I know it's funny. It's funny, but it's not funny to make fun of people that can't do math. But I mean, I'm sure we've seen the hot babe that says, but there was still checks in the checkbook. So I just, of course I wrote a check for that. And so this, yeah, well, it's checks, duh. And, hey, man, the broker said that there was margin available. That's like margin available translates to checks in the checkbook. Not enough money in the account. In other words, the stops are too wide to accommodate that trade plan. And that's all it is. You've just gone over, in other words, you're driving with the parking brake on, which a friend of mine did for me. Car came back like really hot rear wheels, really hot, like smell the rubber burning. That's always a nice treat for somebody to line that up for you. So it's coming at the top of the hour here. Things are tightening up in Asia. I think that the stop hunt might be over. I'm sure people have scalped out of that into the floor. And here we're coming up on the, in other words, here, and also the volatility bots were triggered by the almost zero. And I'm sure there's a robot. I'm sure this is, if Ryan Brown's watching, I don't know if he is. Probably not. I'm too offensive, but think about a robot that gets in on stops when the open to close is under half of a pip. How about under? This is like a tenth of a pip body on this, and I don't know if the wicks. Are there wicks on this chart? Oh, that is the wick. So the closing price is here on the 1 minute chart is literally 2 dojis here, and this doji is the smallest volatility before the collapse, and that is an amazing fucking run. And even a stop bot goober continuation upon fulfillment keeps selling, and a little stop out there, sell. And now here's the trap. One last thrust down, which is a failure swing. And of course, if you're watching this, you would, here's a great place to buy right now. So if you didn't buy this pullback to the 2-yard line, okay, maybe your robot went long here. And obviously you can see the breakout bots are in it to win it, and they're up right now. Okay. Could you be that guy? Okay. You'd have to babysit for that entry to drop even the buy stop. And that's why I said if you had a continuing 5 pip deep grid that comes out and based on volatility though, and keeps retapping this area. Oh, look at the top of the hour. There you go. So top of the hour psychodrama. Look at this top of the hour shit. Now, this is the most volatile time in these markets is the top and the bottom of the hour. Well, look at this. Unbelievable. I think I just got filled on some more tickets. Definitely bought new lows there. Just on by default. Killer. So I want to buy more new lows here. I'm going to turn on my navigator so I can place some more of these psychotic orders. Now I start putting some buy stops in. Now I'm going to go for catch a falling knife here. I'm going to load Z-Wagon. And I'm going to put some Goober Eskers in here. As we drop down in. Okay. Beautiful. I got 50 pip stop. That's only dropped 4 pips. I mean, I know it looks amazing. Remember, it's a 1 minute chart. That's 1 minute chart. So that's how I like to do it right there. Beautiful. Dollar yen, insane. 8 p.m. smashes down and takes out the fucking low from yesterday, Asia. Now I'm gonna go psycho. I'm just gonna go full retard on this. Let's try to make 30. All day long I'm putting in these. Catch a falling knife. using my balls. It's another ball trader. Woof. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to put some scalps in now. Trying to make 5 pips. I'm sorry, 10 pips. Risking 10 to make 10. $5 to make $5. That's right. Oof. Wow, look at that. That thing really collapsed into that hole. Oh boy. Deep discount. All the way back to the starting gate. A real bone crusher for all the all the bulls, all the money management bots that run a 4-hour trailing. Look at this breakout bots on the 4-hour breakout bots up on the trade, currently up. I would say you better be taking profits on that. So another problem here is if you just traded pure range without any candlesticks and you said, okay, I'm only going to trail on small bars, ultra crude mechanical trading, just and the trigger signal is a small bar, so we have sell stop, buy stop. We trail that to here. We're up on the trade. We just reduced our risk. We're not up on that trade. But what if we cashed out of, in other words, what if we sold at the market here because it was up? And we sold here in a stop. And we bought one back here in this vacuum, and we're still holding one. We're going to go long here. Now, at that point, all these sizes are a big deal because if we're not allowed to put in a buy ticket there, a buy ticket there, if we're not allowed to put in a basket here, oh, Sound of Music's back on tour, of course. The real, so interesting, right? Okay, so this to me is the haul. 30 days in the haul. Here's the next cavern. And we get this. And then there's nothing until here. So we're not going to look at this because we're looking for the shelf. So if we start to tuck back into here, now we're taking into account this lack of volatility, which creates these little voids here. So the backfill of that is different than looking back into, and this would be like Jigsaw Trader, if anybody's stuck on Jigsaw Trading, same idea. These are the holes stacked up. It's a market profile in kind of a undercuts. So trapping now, but this is the big kahuna going back. Currently we haven't invaded this yet, so we still have this. And if I just cut back straight, it's almost like a Kenter channel, but if you made the Kenter channel like snug, super snug. So we've seen all that shit, right? And so that is the big swimming pool of liquidity pool. And right now we've broken out below here. Have we trapped these guys, or I mean, is this and this one? So we definitely crushed through that one, and we took this one out. We did not go any higher, and our buy stops weren't filled if we're defensively trading it. But should we be buying this top, this internal top here, which is when things really heated up? Should we buy here on limits all night long, blindly? Blind faith, I would so oppose, because, and how long do these tickets last? I say these last all month. So as the account grows, we could put more and more psychotic, insane scalps in here, weave them in here. Weave me in. Your Kenneth Cole shoes. Weave me in. And here you go, right? And the exits are here. So if we get in here, we get out there. We get in here, we get out there. We can see the back, the retrace, the remix, rewire of the whole what we expect to happen as far as a satisfaction, and then now looks like it's going to tank some more. So if we can cut into this and see what kind of reaction we get here, just for starters. So for the next, but I'd have a higher density of orders near the edge of the abyss. So this is more critical than, of course, we have an even cycle here. Every 2 bars, we have a climax of some magnitude here. So I guess this is the idea of a Renko chart. It has to move so much, but so this is an 8-hour cycle. Rinse and repeat every 8 hours. Looks like that. And that would be like running a 2-period moving average on this chart. So with the 1-period moving average, put the 2 in, and we would just buy. No, here's a great. Here's a holy grail. Here's the holy grail. I forgot to tell everybody. So if you wanted a guaranteed know what you should be doing, a moving average crossover system, 1 crosses the 2. Anybody up for that? It sounds funny, but it's a holy grail. So we go for the trend, moving average, and we're going to pick 2. Three Stooges trading. And I go for linear weighted because it's a lot faster of a hug to the price. So it's very, and I'm torn about this because the 1-period moving average doesn't matter, but the 2 is when we start to actually put a little spin on this thing. I think I'm going to go with Yeller, big Yeller, big gold. All right. Now, when the 1 crosses the 2 is when you sell. And when it crosses the 2, up you buy. We see all the glorious trading this thing does. Granted, we get trapped here. We go long, but we immediately go short. We are short. We stay short. We go long. We get trapped. We sell. We make it back. We go long. We sell. We buy. How is this not the Holy Grail? It is. Presupposing that you get the stop right. Because if you end the target right, if you didn't sell enough here, you'll never survive these whipsaws here like this. But now the linear moving average is very snug, and the 1 is 1. It's ground zero. And this way you'd be short right now. You are short right now, and you're up on the trade, and you stay short. And you would only go long when it crosses back the other way. Of course, hopefully you've taken something off the table, because if you wait for the crossover here, you missed out on making this much money. So you can see already even though this is ultra low lag moving average crossover system, it has problems, right? You sold here even though this was profitable. Don't forget, when this crossed over here, you sold, but if you did not get the fuck out of that trade and realize that vacuum is there, this is the ultimate system, really. One moving average crossing the 2, or crossing the half moving average. I'm sure you could do the math and back it off a notch, smooth it out a little bit, right? This is also what people say the game website. Now, if I go to the 1-minute chart with this system, well, you can only imagine. That's when the boot camp guy would say, "You're tired? Your finger tired yet, son?" So here, a lot of trading, but look at this trade for all these minutes here. You stuck to your guns, and here you bought the crossover. Look at that. So you bought this crossover and this crossover. So here's where you got killed. Well, you'd say, "Hey, make this a 3-period moving average." Okay, I'll give you that. Maybe I'm being too ridiculous. We'll make it a 3. So, but once you go past 4, now you're smashing your nuts into the pelvic bone, right? You're out of sync. let's make it fatter. You can't be, it's like riding a Western or something. English or something, wrong, bareback. Okay, so I've taken a little noise out. Here's a true crossover, you go long. But now you're going to say, shit, I could have sold, well, now you're going to say, oh, this trade sucks. And then you're going to make it 5, and then you go, oh, I'm missing the other trade now. This is 1 minute chart. And you'd have to trade it like this, to be honest. You know, max zoom in, you take every signal. Now here, it sucks. It really sucks on this 1 hour chart. You'd be whipsawed to death. On the daily, you look like a fucking genius. So the problem with a lot of indicators is they're so time frame dependent. So you'd say, oh, I like that system you got there. Okay, you got your ass kicked here, but dude, you made this. You got in here. Hopefully you cashed out. Then you went short. And then it held until here. And then, okay, they trapped you here a little bit, and they did trap you there, but holy shit, you made it back. And then you got a signal to sell, and perfect. You made money to here. And then you a little fucked up there, and you sold here. Good trade. No signal here. This is a 3-period moving average. No signal here. Here you go long. Hopefully you took something off the table here because you had the fucking brains to see this fucking thing. You couldn't stick to it. You cannot be a system. This is why backtesting is just a terrible idea, because if you can't backtest this just by looking at it, then why would you backtest it over any more sample period than this? You can see the flaws of the system immediately, because if it's pip dependent instead of like if you have 500 pips stop on this to make 300 pips, okay, granted it can go into a losing streak, but you at least know that you have a better than a snowball's chance in an iceberg to make it. You're going to make it. But you can see the inherent flaws in strictly following a system without being aware of this whole itching to be satisfied. And it also wants to satisfy that hole that's stacking up. So there's holes out there. And they're just itching to get satisfied, this one here. And I can imagine that if it ever comes, this would be another huge supply zone, demand zone, on and on. Obviously. What are you going to do about it? So we got coming into the bottom of the hour, more drama. Let's go to the 1 minute chart. So we've recovered. 5 minute chart says 3-period crosses the 1. Oh, we should go long. Okay, I like that. We should have been long though. And we did. We got hog long down here, and we're going to buy more if it tanks. So I'm expecting more tankage. I'm just going to load the wagon on this puppy. And I'm going to put my goober orders in above. Look at this thing. Oh, it's astounding. So look at the 1 minute bot went short right here a minute ago. I think he's getting whipsawed though. Still have the half hour to update. The 1 hour robot, okay, it's winning now, but you can't even imagine how it got its ass kicked back here. Maybe it doesn't take trades. It has to have another filter on there before it even gets in. I don't think you just go, well, maybe you could. If you traded really lightly, you could just be an idiot and go, okay, it's down by every hour it's down, I buy. If it's really down in 1 hour, I really, really, really buy. A lot, a whole lot. And that becomes the thing. Like right now, at the end of 15 minutes, look at this thing. So this 15 minutes down hard, we closed here. And so 2 minutes ago, we closed. And now I want to catch more of a falling knife. And now I want to put in, since I don't have any market orders here, I'm going to just trade right at the market. Right at where we're at. Buy more here and put some confirmation engulfs in, and they start here. So I've done this trade too, where I say, you know what, I'm not in enough, but I want to load up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these terrible orders in, because I don't want to. I don't have a market order ready. So if you have these three styles of order, what's the chance that you have the right size and the right type ready? Pretty rare. Most people are trading one ticket style. Or they're trading so small they can trade one or two. They could put a buy limit, buy stop, and a market order in maybe. But once you go into that, which is really complicated, right? Okay, so now we're getting the engulf. And so I bought, counterintuitively, I bought into this huge sell-off here. Please hold. Got a storm coming in. It's going to get all rambunctious in here. Power might go out. Batten down the hatches. This could get pretty frisky here. So, well, you can see the market's affecting my weather. I mean, this is Asia. So we're coming to the bottom of the hour here. And this should be quite the calamity. Oh, I can see all the scalpers, the buy dead cat bouncers are out, right? So they got out right here where the rubber meets the road. 1 minute chart again. So here's the floor, and they jumped out here. And this is why it's tugging back a little bit. But yeah, this is going to be some kind of wonderful. The 4 hour chart, you don't gotta say, you know what? It's not bad. This crossover system on the 4 hour chart. Certainly the daily is low frequency trading. Weekly, wow. You know, if you got in here at this crossover here, the weekly looks like an amazing. For this crossover system, like you went long here and you sold here. Oh, what a whipsaw. Same story. Shitty trades in here. Whipsawed to death on this thing. You'd have to be scaling out in a just like you're scaling in. You just can't be. Back testing is just absolutely fucking retarded. Only for the survival of the account. Not that it makes money. I mean, what the fuck? I don't know. It's got to be so complicated of a robot. You already know that. If you back tested anything, you go, "Oh, dude, it worked great until it didn't." Okay, that means that robot has to step out. He's only good for that. He's only good for when conditions are just 48 pips every 2 hours. And never deviates. And then you got another robot comes in. There's going to be 40 robots running. So, and you put those on a cloud or something, I suppose. But that also presupposes you got the time to monkey with all that stuff. Or you just look at the chart and go, I just trade like a fucking hillbilly and just launch your trades. Just trade manually and just trade big. Right? I mean, the thing is that if you could press a button and drop a bunch of orders, why wouldn't you? For the same price. Same price. In other words, a bunch of franchises, instead of just one big headquarters, you got a bunch of little mini satellite stores or something. That's your scheme. That's your deal. Okay, so I'm waiting for the bottom of the hour now. Waiting for the big retracement. Let's take a look. Okay, so we've crushed down, and I bought more. So I bought a ton just on limits here, or I would have bought at the market, and I'm going to wait for bottom of the hour to see if I'm going to. If it's down again, I'll buy, but if it's up, I will not buy at the bottom of the hour if it's up. So I'm going to go counterintuitive.